My name is Tammy Wilkin, and I am a student at the American College of Education, completing the Certificate of Virtual Instruction program. Today I'll be discussing 3 theoretical perspectives and the impact those perspectives have on the learning environment. Behaviorism is the first perspective that we will be discussing. It is the belief that to change a behavior, external rewards are needed to do this. This theory believes that the mind is not needed in order to produce a change, just the reward. Key contributors include Pavlov, Skinner, Watson, Thorndike, and Bandura. In 1897, Pavlov published his results of experimenting with the digestion of dogs. He would ring a bell whenever he fed the dog and measure the amounts of saliva produced. He then measured what would happen if the bell was rung and there was no food. There was an increase in saliva, thus proving that an external stimuli or reward would produce the expected behavior. In 1913, Watson published Psychology as the Behaviorist Views It, and the behaviorism movement begins. In 1936, Skinner published The Behavior of Organisms, which introduced radical behaviorism. This is the belief that behavior, not mental states, should be the focus of study for psychology. In 1958, the Journal of Experimental Analysis of Behavior is introduced, and in 1963, Social Learning Theory and Personality Development is published and combines cognitive and behavioral theories. When behaviorism is applied to the classroom, it generally appears in face-to-face or blended classroom. In these 2 environments, extrinsic rewards are given immediately in the form of praise, positive body language, or tangible reward. Generally, behaviorism is used as classroom management. However, it can also be used for students with autism or other behavioral issues. In a fully online program, classroom management would be limited as there would be little face-to-face time needed. Rewards are not always immediate either in the form of grades, because some programs require students to turn in assignments that will then be graded at a later date. Cognitism came out of behaviorism. In cognitism, it was established that the person had an active role and could determine for oneself whether they wanted to change the behavior. Key contributors include Miller, Bruner, and Neiser. In 1956, George Miller published The Magical Number 7 plus or minus 2, which gave birth to the cognitive psychology. In 1960, Plans and Structure of Behavior is published, and the term working memory is coined. Also in 1960, the Center for Cognitive Studies is established at Harvard by Bruner and Miller. In 1967, Neiser published Cognitive Psychology, which actually began the cognitive approach. The multi-store model, developed in 1968, established long-term and short-term memory. Since cognitism believes that the mind works similar to computers, this theory would have an impact on all learning environments. As the student learns new information, the student processes the information and stores the information for later use. The final perspective is the constructivism. In constructivism, theory believes that our own unique experiences help us make connections as we learn new information. Key contributors include Vygotsky, Piaget, Dewey, Bruner, and Montessori. In 1910, Dewey published How We Think, which presented the idea that reflection on past experiences is a critical mode of thought. In 1915, Montessori established an observable classroom at the Panama Pacific Exposition in San Francisco, which was the beginning of the Montessori movement, which believes that students can control the path of what they want to learn based upon their own interest. In 1924, Piaget published Judgment and Reasoning in the Child, which describes how children use schemata when learning. In 1934, Vygotsky developed the idea that children use language to begin to construct categories. In 1966, Bruner publishes Constructivist Learning Theory, which provides a framework path to help the learner build knowledge. Constructivists believe that people build knowledge through their own experiences. Any environment would work as long as students could develop their own paths of learning. Teachers become facilitators, not instructors. So the face-to-face, blended classroom, or fully online program would work as long as students were able to use their past knowledges, their own feelings, and study whatever topic they would like to study. Thank you for listening, and I hope you enjoyed.